Welcome to the next part in the extreme weight loss that my MK2 GTI is going under. This video is kind of starting out focusing on wiring. So I'm stripping out wiring. There's a lot of stuff I've already taken out of the car in my previous video. So right now I'm focusing on getting the cables out the back of the car. There's windshield wipers, motors gone, windshield wiper fluid, rear speakers gone, all gone to save weight. And I don't need the cables going to the back of the car anymore for those things. So like this is just the cables for the speakers, windshield wiper and things like that in the rear. Now I'm still keeping the car street legal as much as possible. So the lights in the third brake light and the license plate lights and the brake lights, those are all still there. And the cables are still there for those. But you know, that's a pretty big chunk of wire. You know, when I say extreme lightning, if I can save a pound out of the car, I'm going to. And that's more than a pound. And then there's also like all these random cables that came out of the dome light and the door triggers and things like that. And I've kind of worked my way back to here, and now I got to finish cleaning that up. So I'm gonna work on that, and yeah, I'll cut you in when I find something interesting. So come along for the ride. Kind of shooting these out of order, but I've been stripping a lot of wires that I don't need out of the car, mostly the stuff out of the interior. That's pretty much done. I'm starting to put stuff back in now. I'm not going to strip any more wiring, but just give you an idea. You know, there's my bag full of all the various wires that I stripped out of the car. Took a long time, 3.3 pounds. So that's probably like 4 hours worth of work, stripping all those wires out and then coming back in the loom and cleaning the looms up and everything. But I mean, that's 3 pounds I don't need. So yeah, it's not necessarily worth it, but if you want to go the extreme, 3.3 pounds. All right, after finishing up the wiring in the car, I moved to the front. I took out some more wiring, and I want a lighter battery. This is a 2.2 pound lithium battery that normally starts my V8 C5. I'm gonna buy another one, but until I rebuild that engine, I don't need to. But quick and easy mounted this in. The idea was extreme lightness, so it's right here, super close. Everything's very short cables, and I wired in a kill switch. So really easy to do this. I reuse there's a back little mount in there for the stock battery, and then normally the stock battery mounts are there, but I welded in, which is kind of hard to see, another piece of angle iron at the front, so the battery is held in front and back and left and right. And then I put this hot water heater strapping because it's super light. I welded in a stud here and in the back. So, you know, 2 bolts, this thing comes off and the battery just pops out real easy. You actually only need to take one side off. And then I wired up all my positives direct, and then the switch is the negative. On this kill switch, I whipped up this little aluminum bracket, so it's because it's super light to hold everything. So now you can turn on the car. That turns on power to almost everything. So once that's on, it turns on to all the main circuits except for the primary leading to the fuse box, and that goes through this big 80 amp relay. I wanted a way to kill the power from inside the car, and I didn't want to use a bunch of wires, so with the 2-wire run to a hidden switch, see, I got the key here. I could turn the key on all I want, it does nothing. Well, you turn on the rear defrosters, right? Everything turns back on. You see my dash lights. Now I got the car. My headlights are turned on, all that good stuff. Flip that off. Even with the switch on, it kills everything. So this switch turns everything on and off. I actually got all the lights to work and everything, which is nice. So that's it. That's the end of the wiring for this car for the most part. Now it's on to stripping the doors. So the next thing I'm going to lighten up is the door card. Things to note, the window crank, if you have manual, there's a little plastic trim piece that pops off, and then there's a screw, just a Phillips that screw comes off there. And then the handle that's normally here, same thing, there's a shell that pops off, and then there's a screw in that hole and a screw in that hole that pops off. This thing just kind of pulls off. That's the adjust the mirror, and then there's a screw, and screw. Anyway, this thing comes off. I was super surprised by this. Check this out. Look at that pattern. Also, what I found out is there's mold in here because this car kept getting wet, I guess. Anyway, I've I've never seen this. Is this real Volkswagen stuff? This can't be real Volkswagen stuff. I mean, look, there's like barnacles and snails and shit. Anyway, I thought this was very interesting. So I'm gonna take this off and then. All right, so we got the panel off. There's a couple things that are, one thing that's really easy weight is this more of the sound deadening stuff, which you can pry out if you want. This car has manual windows and manual locks and manual mirror adjusters things. So one thing that's very heavy, which you can kind of see when we come down at an angle, is this big bar, which is kind of hard to see there. But there's a 13 millimeter bolt right here. And then there's another one that was right there. And to get it out, there's this little plastic plug that you take off. So if I take that off, the bar falls. And now the bar will come out the hole. Oh man, this thing is like seriously heavy steel bar. So I don't know how much that weighs. We'll go weigh it here in a second. But that's the safety crash bar. So take it out at your own risk. Because now you're in a definite tin can, but that weighs a lot. So I got the passenger door where I want it. Little disclaimer, if you don't like it when people cut up their cars, just stop watching my videos. So got a decent amount cut out. Now I've seen a lot of people cut a lot more out, but I wanted some structure. So there's quite a bit of structure left in the door. I think I can probably get around cutting a lot more out, but I wanted to keep the window and everything else in working order. But this is all cut out. That was already cut out. But you can see there's big holes down here. I left these little bars to give it structure, and you can see everything. That's all the metal here. I weighed that. So, all right, that's what it looks like. Can't really tell. I did end up weighing this plastic tray that goes in here. That's 0.55 pounds. So I'm gonna take that out too. So that's bad. So I'm pretty much done now. Got the driver's side door, everything all cut out of it. Holes all the way through. Cut a little bit more out of this side just because this is the driver's side, and we're gonna have to offset the weight of the driver as much as possible. So I cut just I think about 2 extra pounds out. But everything weighs around 16.08 pounds. So that's the plastic trays, the crash bars, all the metal I took out, and the insulation. So yeah, on to the next bit in Extreme Lightning. So I have a lot more videos to come of lightening this car, upgrading this car, getting it ready to race. So subscribe, be my co-driver, and see you in the next one.